This is Robert Kraft, and I'm your host on SNN Network. And joining me right now is David Garofalo. He is the chairman and CEO of Gold Royalty Corp. It's a publicly traded company. The symbol is GROY on the NYSE American. You can actually see David give an investor presentation at the upcoming Precious Metals Summit Beaver Creek, a hybrid event this year, happening September 8th through the 11th. With that, David, thank you so much for joining me today. How are you doing?
It's good to see you, Robert. Thanks for having me on.
It's great to have you. So this is our first time doing a chat together. So would love to start off with a quick overview and history of the company, and then we'll go from there.
Well, sure. We were spun out as a private company last August. So it's been about a year now out of Gold Mining Inc., which has a collection of a dozen development stage gold assets collectively with over 32 million ounces of gold equivalent. And we wrote royalties in each of those development stage assets, got spun out by Gold Mining, and then we IPO'd back in March and raised $90 million US in our inaugural offering. And then subsequent to that, acquired Ely Gold, a merger that we just completed yesterday, and acquired some additional royalties on Monarch's properties in Quebec in the Abitibi region, which is my old haunting ground back from the days when I was CFO of Agnico Eagle. So now the company has over 110 royalties across the Americas with a significant underlying resource base, well over 40 million ounces on the underlying properties. And we have royalties from early stage exploration to producing royalties. We have 4 in the production stage right now, so we're cash flowing currently. We have 8 in construction, and so our cash flow is going to be growing 5-fold over the next 5 years. And then we have countless other royalties that provide that additional optionalities that investors are looking for as they buy royalty vehicles like Gold Royalty Corp.
Very good. And for context, everyone who's listening right now, we're doing this interview on August 24th. So just wanted to give this a date stamp for when you were talking about the merger yesterday. So, David, from what would you say then makes Gold Royalty unique and different to some of your peer groups out there?
Well, there's a couple of things. One is the diversity of our portfolio. As I said, we have 110 royalties across the spectrum from early stage exploration to production. We're exclusively focused in the Americas and low political risk jurisdictions, and we're exclusively focused on precious metals. There are a lot of other smaller royalty players out there that have much more diversity in their metals exposure, but we think that investors, when they're buying a royalty vehicle in the gold space, want precious metal focus because that provides leverage to the gold price, optionality, particularly in an environment where we're seeing massive quantitative easing, low interest rates. Gold is where you want to be as an asset class to protect and safeguard your capital against the volatility we expect in the general equity markets and the continued debasement of fiat currencies that we're seeing across the world on a coordinated basis.
Very good. And David, what was your background prior to joining Gold Royalty?
Well, that's the unusual part. Is I spent over 30 years on the operating side of the business. I ran Gold Corp until it merged with Newmont to create the world's biggest gold company. It was a $32 billion merger just completed 2 years ago. I was with Agnico Eagle as CFO for 12 years. So I've had about 15 years in the precious metal side, about 15 years on the base side. I ran a copper company called Hudbay Minerals and built 3 large-scale mines across the Americas. So I come from a mine development and operation background, and that's true of our board as well. When you talk about the differentiating proposition in Gold Royalty Corp relative to our peers is the deep and profound experience we have on the operating and development side within our board. We have collectively over 300 years of experience on the operating side within our board management. And that gives us 2 advantages. One, it gives us a clear-eyed view of the underlying risk of the opportunities we're investing in and taking royalties back, because we understand how operators think. We understand the inherent risk in developing and operating these mines. But also, given how senior our board management is, and there are many ex-CEOs within our board management, we have unprecedented access to opportunities. There isn't any mining company in the world that we can't talk to at the very top, which gives us access to royalty opportunities before they're available in the general marketplace.
Very good. Well, then, David, before I let you go, from what you can tell us, and you alluded to this already when you said I think you said 8 mines that are in some stage of going into production over the next 5 years, but give me the full scope, what would you say then are the company's value catalysts for the rest of this year going into 2022?
Well, pronounced cash flow growth given the integration of Ely into the portfolio. We've grown our royalty portfolio fivefold in the last several months through those acquisitions, both of Ely and the royalties within Monarch. So we're going to see a significant upward trajectory in cash flow over the coming months and years. In fact, we expect our cash flow to grow fivefold over the next 5 years as these development stage assets come into production. So that's a very significant positive catalyst, and why Ely was so accretive to us, not only in terms of net asset value, but in terms of cash flow per share for our shareholders.
Well, David, with that, where can our audience go and find more information about Gold Royalty Corp?
So goldroyalty.com, and very, very easy to remember. And as you correctly pointed out, our trading symbol is GROY, GROY on the NYSE American. So please watch the space.
Very good. David, thank you so much for joining me today. I really do appreciate it. Good luck, stay safe, and I look forward to our next update.
Thanks, Robert.
Thank you. Again, my name is Robert Kraft, and I'm your host on SNN Network. And we're a proud media sponsor for the upcoming Precious Metal Summit Beaver Creek, a hybrid event this year, happening September 8th through the 11th. David will be there giving an investor presentation, and thank you all for watching.